Hello and welcome back to our video series on how to prepare for your PMP exam. I am Cornelius Fichtner. This is step 4, in which we give you our recommendation on what study materials you will need in order to pass your PMP exam. The PMP exam is a 4-hour test in which you are going to have to answer 200 multiple choice questions covering concepts from the Project Management Institute's PMBOK guide. Some PMPs have described this exam as grueling, but most will tell you that it takes a considerable amount of studying to pass it successfully. It's therefore not surprising that you are going to need numerous study materials. And the good news here is that you can choose from a variety of resources and formats. Here, you're going to have to make sure that the type of materials you choose fit your style and your study preferences. Let's take a look at the 8 study materials to consider that will help you pass the PMP exam. The number 1 study material that you're going to need is the PMBOK guide, the Project Management Body of Knowledge Guide, published by PMI. If you look at the 4 gentlemen here at the bottom in the pictures, they look terribly frustrated because they have just failed their PMP exam because they did not have the PMBOK guide. It is a fact. You simply cannot pass the PMP exam without the PMBOK guide. As a PMI member, you can download a free PDF copy from the pmi.org website, or you can buy a hard copy from online or local bookstores. You are going to have to read through and study the complete PMBOK guide twice, possibly even 3 times. Most people who have passed the PMP exam will tell you that they have used a PMP exam prep book in addition to studying from the PMBOK guide. These PMP exam prep books, they complement the PMBOK guide, and I highly recommend that you use one as well. The 2 that I recommend are Achieve PMP Exam Success by Diane Altweiss and Janice Preston, as well as Andy Crow's The PMP Exam, How to Pass It on Your First Try. These PMP exam prep books, they explain the PMBOK guide in plain English. If you go through the PMBOK guide for the first time, you'll notice it is a dry and scholarly reference book. In contrast, a PMP exam prep book will take you systematically through these dry concepts, give you tips and tricks on what to expect on the test and what to focus on in your study. Some of them even include a CD full of free sample questions. Next, you may want to consider going to a classroom and attending a PMP exam prep workshop. These workshops are a great option if you prefer a classroom setting and you think that the interactions in the classroom will be beneficial for you when you can ask questions of your teacher directly live in person. They're obviously also a great place to network with other PMP exam students and possibly forming up a study group with them where you can study outside of the classroom after the class is complete. And another benefit of these workshops is that they usually satisfy the 35 contact hours that are required to apply to take the PMP exam. Many local PMI chapters offer a series of weekend classes just like this, targeted at PMP exam students like yourself. So contact your local PMI chapter first. Make also sure that your teacher is a certified PMP, that the presentations are based on the current PMBOK guide, and that this workshop is preparing you for the most current version of the PMP exam. You would like to attend a PMP exam prep workshop, but you don't want to go to a classroom? Not a problem. Why don't you try an online PMP exam prep workshop? The immediate benefit that these workshops have is that they are usually less expensive than the in in-person workshops. These online workshops, they come in two flavors. You can either have these with a coach, a real live person at the other end who will go through the materials with you and who will keep you motivated. There is interaction going on and you can ask questions. Or there is the option of going through a self-paced course where you decide the speed at which you are going to go through these materials. Obviously, you're going to have to figure out yourself which of these two styles fits you better. Successful PMPs will tell you that it's important to have your study materials with you at all times. And that way, when you're stuck, say, in a doctor's waiting room, you can study for the exam until the doctor is ready for you. This is where PMP exam preparation videocasts come into play. Here, you will be able to download these video lessons to your portable devices, like a laptop, an iPhone, an Android-based phone, an iPod, an iPad, or whatever portable player you have. In that way, you can carry your PMP exam prep materials with you, and whenever you have a moment, you can simply whip out your portable device and play the next lesson. I also highly recommend that you sign up and pay for a commercial online PMP exam simulator. These simulators are basically practice PMP exams online. They ask the same style of questions that you'd find on the actual PMP exam, and they aim to replicate the exam environment so that you can get comfortable with the pressure and timing that is associated with the exam. It's not that easy to sit down for 4 hours and answer 200 questions when you try it for the first time. So you can get comfortable with the pressure and all of that by using the exam simulator. PMP exam simulators are an excellent way to measure your ability to apply PMBOK guide concepts to questions that you've never ever seen before. What better way to find out what you know and what you don't know in order to build your confidence before the actual exam? We are going to take a deep dive into exam simulators here on our video series in Step 6, which is titled Using Practice Tests to Get Ready. Another great way of ensuring that you have your study materials with you at all times is by using flashcards. You can download electronic flashcards that you can then flip through on your smartphone, or you can print them from your computer and carry them with you as paper flashcards. Flashcards, whether you use the electronic version or the paper versions, these are tried, tested, portable, and most importantly, they are cost effective. Creating your own flashcards can also be an incredibly helpful study activity because you have to know all the information that goes into these cards in the first place. And another benefit of flashcards is that they let you include your family members and friends in your studies. Just hand them your cards and they can now go through these cards with you, and they instantly become your study partner. When it comes to free online resources, well, you get what you pay for. Not all of them are useful or credible. So, before you get any study material, be it paid or be it free, make sure that the source where you get it from is a reputable source, and that the information, the resource that you receive from them, is indeed based on the current version of the PMBOK guide and the current version of the PMP exam, because they undergo significant changes over time. The one online free resource that every PMP student should be using are online PMP discussion forums. These forums are a great place to interact with others who are also preparing for the exam. Many PMPs, like myself, we continue to visit these forums even after we become certified. We answer questions about our experience before and after the exam, and we help out with practical application of the PMI framework. These forums are a great way to build your professional web network, so they are well worth your time and effort, as long as you don't use them as an excuse not to pick up your books and actually study. So go ahead and try out these forums that we have suggested here on the screen. It's really very difficult to recommend more free online resources because they come and they go, and frankly, some of them, they just don't have the quality that you'd be looking for. However, when it comes to free online questions, there are two websites that I can recommend. The first one is oliverlehmann.com. Oliver is a PMP trainer from Germany, and he offers two sets of free questions, a set of 75 and a set of 175 questions. These questions, they are really, really tough. They are some of the hardest questions that you will find, and some of the best questions also that you will find on the internet that are free in preparation for the PMP exam. And then there is our own free PMExamQuestions.com. The questions here are a little less tough than the ones from Oliver Lehmann, but they are still a very good representation of the questions that you will find on your PMP exam. If you are looking for high quality and low cost study materials, then why not take a look at our study materials? Many of the materials that we talked about today in this video are offered by us. We offer the PM Prepcast, a video podcast. We have our very own PMP exam simulator. We have a PMP exam formula study guide. We haven't even touched upon the formulas yet. You need to know about 42 formulas in order to pass the PMP exam. We have electronic flashcards downloadable to your phone or your iPod. And we also offer a complete PMP exam coaching course. To learn more, please go to pmprepcast.com. And that was our overview of the PMP exam study materials. I will see you again in step 5 when we will take a look at study tips and techniques. Until next time.